Hi, loves. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I came across a video and you know what? I just thought I'm going to make a podcast about this. My plan, by the way, is to actually record myself so that I can pop this on YouTube as well. And you also have an audio version on here if that's something that you would prefer. But you have two options. I'm not sure when that's going to be, but it's in the works, so stay tuned. Yeah. So I came across this video of this woman who's a self-help coach on TikTok. And I just really wish people would create content that was a new idea sometimes. This is something I've heard quite a lot over the years. And as someone who has an appreciation for Disney, it definitely makes me perk up when I hear these thoughts coming out of people's mouths. But it's about the detriment of Disney princesses. And this woman makes this point that Cinderella was only happy when she met the prince. And Sleeping Beauty was asleep for most of she said film, the book, was asleep for most of it. And it was only when the prince woke her up that she was suddenly alive and well and kicking. And Ariel gave her voice away just to be with a man. And I thought that was a really, really terrifying and unfortunate view that I think a lot of women feel, because they're being told now to feel that. If you come across a video from a woman who has good lighting, great sound, brilliant filming equipment, and she's telling you that men are the problem, Disney is the problem, everything is the problem, God, isn't that not... Are you not exhausted from trying to point the finger at everything else in the world other than just looking in the mirror and asking yourself, what do I need right now? What can I give myself right now? How much extra love do I need right now? And how can I give that to myself? No, instead, the rhetoric is to point the finger. So that's not how I grew up. That's not what I saw in Cinderella. What I saw was a woman that was treated badly, terribly misunderstood, and she was given the opportunity to open doors for herself. Now, she had to be courageous. She had to do something completely outside of her comfort zone and go to a ball full of people that were of a completely different class, nervous as hell, but excited. And when she did that, more and more doors started opening for her. People started to see who she truly was. A man fell in love with her for who she was at her soul level, not who he thought she was. And when it was all coming to an end, she said to herself, okay, all right, well, that was great. Now I'm going to go back to my life. I'm going to let that sit with me for a bit. And there was always this notion of trusting that something really good would eventually happen. And it started to happen for her when she stepped out the door and she made her life her own. The prince was part of the story. Sleeping Beauty? I mean, essentially, for me, that was about jealousy. That was about power from another woman. So that was really a tale of women tearing down other women. And thank goodness that there was this prince, a man, who came along and helped the princess awaken. I don't think that's the worst thing in the world, is it? That you could potentially meet someone who you're aligned with and he helps you, he elevates you, he brings you into a new perspective. No. and yeah, I'm giggling because I really, really, truly hope I can find more women out there who can be courageous enough, actually, in this day and age, to view things through a different lens. And Ariel was absolutely sick and tired of being told what to do. So she decided to take a chance at something she wanted. And it wasn't just about the prince. She had been dreaming of a whole new world for quite some time. I just remembered that's actually a lyric from a completely different song and movie. But the same goes. She wanted something different. She wanted something new for herself. She wanted to create a life for herself and not to be led all the time. She wanted to stand on her own 2 feet. That's what I got from that movie. Did the prince inspire part of that? Yes. Was he that last, yeah, I can do this? Yeah. But she had been collecting things and creating this new life for herself for quite some time before she saw the prince. Why are we not reflecting on that? Why are we choosing to give our power away to the idea that the man is the bad guy in this because he helped? Why are we choosing to ignore all the empowerment and the courage and the self-love that went into these stories? And instead choosing to view this through the perspective of a misogynistic tale that holds a woman under, and it's only when the man comes to save her, because it's just not what I got from any of those stories and other ones as well. And I think it is incredibly telling that we need fresh views. Ladies, that's what we need. We need to inject fresh ways of looking at life and not continuously looking at life through the lens that everything is bleak and everything is controlled and everything is negative, because nothing could be further from the truth. It's like a term that's thrown about quite a lot on social media, the term delulu, this cutesy way of saying delusional. I don't think anything could be more contradictory to manifestation, to alignment work, than calling it delulu. Go look up what delusional means. It is an extreme version of something that you are creating in your mind that absolutely cannot come true. So if you're telling yourselves you're delusional, and you're also telling yourselves that you can have everything you want, those two energies are very, very contradictory. And something that I have created in my book, which I'm so excited about, because again, I wanted a fresh perspective. I didn't want to do the same old hat, was to create an elevation chart, like I can't think of a word, I can't think of a term, like a theme of consciousness, like the Hawkins scale, if you've ever heard of that, which shows your contracted states and your expanded states through emotion. And so I created this in my book to maybe bring a softer approach to these contracted states, especially. The word delusion, if you were to take a word and you were to feel it in your body, how does it feel? Does it feel like it's an expanded state? Or does the term delusion feel like that maybe it belongs more in the lower contracted states, in shame, in fear, in desire, in anger? Then those are your contracted states, and it does not allow you to align with expanded emotional states. And like courage is building into that, and acceptance and willingness and love, joy, freedom and enlightenment. Enlightenment does not line up with delusional. In fact, you can hear it in words as well. So if I say delusional and then I say enlightenment, you can hear my voice change and shift. That's the energy of a word, and it holds so much power. I'm also not saying that you should be, another term which again I don't subscribe to, spiritual bypassing. Again, it is an extreme. Not everyone is spiritually bypassing. Not everyone is forcing optimism onto everyone. These are extremes. And when we use extremes, like the extreme way of looking at what could be a really wonderful experience watching a Disney film or showing a Disney film to your children, what are you teaching them? And what are you teaching yourself about the words you're using, the language, the movies, the music? One thing can be very different to another person. And that is actually a wonderful, wonderful place to be in, because you can, if you choose to then be really, to go deep, right? To be really introspective, to do some work on that. Do I want to feel this way? Maybe you do. Maybe right now you hate all men and that's okay with you. Right now it's easier to blame everything else and everyone else because you're just in that place at that moment. That's fine. I've been there. We've all been there. There's no shame in it. There's no finger pointing. But what I do know, as a woman who has looked death in the eye, who has had stage 3 cancer, who chose to go down a harder path with chemotherapy, is that life really is what you make of it. My chemotherapy journey was part of the becoming of the woman I am now. It's not comfortable to be uncomfortable. It's not comfortable to go through really challenging and difficult things in your life. And I have mourned past versions of myself. I have walked down that path of thinking, oh my God, I can't believe I went through that. But it never got me anywhere. So when I started to turn that on its head and instead kind of projecting that, oh, poor me, I went through that, like what a poor little girl I was, or what a poor young woman I was to experience rape or to experience a really detrimental relationship. It didn't help me heal in the slightest. What helped me to start that healing process was to do things that flipped everything on its head. To forgive people that did horrible things. To go through really challenging circumstances and have a smile on my face. It's like the best middle finger, honestly. It's like, here's my middle finger with love. I'm not going to give my energy away to things that make me stuck, that keep me sad for too long. I am here to cry. I'm here to journal. I'm here to talk. I'm here to work with and to work through and to build myself into a woman that I can look in the mirror and just be so ultimately proud of. That it doesn't matter what anyone else says to me. If it is a negative thing, it is a projection from their own lives. I'm there, I'm holding space for you. I love you, but I'm not absorbing this. That is the way that I see us women truly taking back our power for ourselves, which has a ripple effect on this incredible planet we live on, a ripple effect into those that we love and that we admire in so many ways because they have such incredible ways about them. Their unique, energetic print is so stunning, right? But they can't see it necessarily. And we really want to shake them and go, come on, please see the amazingness in you. It's blinding me. How can you not see this? But it's not our place to force people, to drag them to the mirror, to have them there and be like, look at you. Look how amazing you are. Because that's not how healing happens. So if we truly want to change this misogynistic world that we keep going on about, stop talking about it. Stop giving it power. Take the power and give you everything you need. And I know it seems really too simple that self-love and self-compassion and self-truth could create such a ripple effect, but it can and it does. And the more of us that do that, the bigger the ripple effect. I did not intend on making a 20-minute podcast episode today. I was actually just going to make like a 5-minute one and see how that went. But I followed my intuition. The trajectory seemed to work. So I hope it worked for you. And I hope it gave you something today which gives you the ability to give yourself permission to say no to all the hate mongering out there, all the fear mongering. If you see a video that pops up on your feed that you don't like, you have the power to hard press and to say, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in this creator. I'm not interested in this theme. I'm not interested. I am co-creating a life that I am going to be so proud of. And it's going to make me so happy. Your energy, Miss TikTok coach lady, is not welcome in my energetic field. So with all the love in the world, I'm going to create a world where I'm happy and I have full control of what goes into my subconscious and what doesn't. Doesn't that sound great? To me, it sounds fantastic. And I want you to come along on this ride with me. So please do. Let's make this happen. One person at a time. Let's make this happen. Thank you so much for listening, for subscribing, and jump on Instagram and on TikTok. You can find me at my handle, I am Starla Rose. And here's a little update for you. My book is currently having its cover designed. This is, again, a co-creation process. I created the idea, the concept. I sent that over to an incredible designer, and she has gone above and beyond. I received the concepts in my inbox yesterday, and I was so wowed. I have 4 concepts to kind of go through and to choose and to move things around and everything. And one of them is really speaking to me. But even she emailed me back and said, you know what, Starla, it's been a couple of days. Actually, I'd really like to work on this one some more. And it just makes my heart sing, because you guys are going to love this. You're going to absolutely love this book, and you're going to love the cover. And the reason I know that is because I see it. I can visualize it quite easily, and also because I've injected pure love into this book and into this cover design as well. Everything in this creation is just vibrating with the highest, purest, most beautiful energy. And wow, I'm so excited to share it with you. I really am. So there we go. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic week, as I'm sure you will. And I will catch you soon.